actually, the album was called something else for a long time. I will answer the question of why it's called Burn, but I have to tell you something else. For a long time, actually, I referred to the album as Return to Apache Gulch. Something from a Jack Kerouac book. The cool thing about Jack Kerouac is you never have to remember where you were because you can just start up because he just rambles. It's kind of like maybe how I am now. But anyways, there's a section in Dharma Bums where he's out by himself and he's in this desert. And he was actually a little scared of being by himself, I think. Jack Kerouac was a very social guy. And then he realized that now that he was all alone, it was actually really nice and he enjoyed it. And he was at peace with where he was and what he was doing. And he called that place Apache Gulch. That's kind of how I am after being solo for all those years before I met the Beverly Band, and then having 7 awesome years musically with the Beverly Band, and then suddenly I'm back to where I started, and alone and as a solo artist. And I thought, well, that's kind of like Apache Gulch, but it's kind of like returning to Apache Gulch. So that's what I called it. But as I was making the album, Burn, the text of Burn really, it kept on hitting me of that's really how I feel, and that's really how I work and how I live. That I work a lot and by myself. That's kind of how I felt the whole process of this album too, along with the Apache Gulch feeling. So even though it's not the first single, it's a really cool song, and it's a text, it's a lyric that's really close to how I feel about the whole project. So there you have it. There's Burn. Now that's a good question. I kind of had this plan. My dad actually, he just told me that he bought an iPad 2, and I don't have an iPad. So what I'm thinking is to kind of outdo it, you know, overdo it a little. I don't know whether it's outdo it or overdo it. I'll have like 5 different iPads up on the stage with a video of myself playing the bass. Just have all these different iPads up there, and then I'll be in the middle, and it'd be the coolest band. I'll just sync them all together. No. But I'm taking the songs back to where they started when I go out on tour and promote this album. But just me and my guitar. That's how all of these songs start, and then they're on an album, and then they're going to go back to the way they started when I go out and promote the album. I look forward to it. It's just me and this guy here. Burn is only going to be available digitally. I felt so old-fashioned to make CDs and all the boxes and the graphics and the covers. And I love covers too. Everyone always tells me they like to sit down on the couch and thumb through the cover while they listen to the CD of their favorite CDs and stuff. And I like that too, but you know what? I don't think I would mind. In fact, I could sit on the couch and flip through a PDF file while I listen to, I don't know, Josh Ritter or Lisa Ekdale's album. They both have digital booklets too, and of course they have CDs too, but they probably have more money than I do. So it actually kind of feels like it focuses on the music. You can't grab the music, and you can't grab the CD either unless you burn it. It's just there. It's 2011, and I think I didn't have a need. I don't miss the CDs at all. I think it's exciting to try something new and not have a real physical product. I'm not sure I have a favorite song on the album. Typical me, you tell me to choose one and I'll choose 2. There were 2 songs that were kind of the beginning of this whole idea and this whole album, and that was Right Now and Wheels on the Road. And I actually feel like those were kind of the 2 extremes for the album. Right Now, I really like the way it came together. I like the story, the franticness of it, the feeling of the waiting and debating. There's a feeling that can drive me crazy, waiting and debating. And then at some point, I just gotta do it. I'd rather be moving than waiting, even if I'm moving in a strange direction. Sometimes, you know, if I'm driving through town and there's a train, I'd rather go like 10 blocks around the train to the underpass, and then I see cars like drive by that they actually waited for the train, but it just feels better for me to be moving. And I feel like I captured that feeling in Right Now very well, that it's just gotta be now. Right now. I'm out of here. The song is Wheels on the Road. And I'm getting the feeling actually that even though it's one of my favorites, that it might be one of the least favorite songs on the album, but so be it. I put it on there, and I really like it. It's 8.5 minutes, and just about 8.5 minutes, but it could have been hours. Of that feeling of just driving down the road, and at first it spit out 4 verses right from the beginning. There are all kinds of stuff, and then there's nothing. White line, yellow line, white line, yellow line, white line, yellow line. It's just the theme in there. It comes back again and again and again, and then it changes a little, and then it comes back to the same, and then the song is done. And then you either got to your destination, or you stopped for the night, or whatever. I like them all. I'm very pleased with all of them. But right now, Wheels on the Road are probably they're my darlings. And I decided not to kill my darlings this time. So they're there.